An update. Look, contrary to what is going on in the economic environment in this country, development in the city of Los Angeles, though it is not visible, it is proceeding. Developers are obtaining all of their entitlements to build all those projects we're going to go fight or hopefully compromise on, mostly because it's a slow enough time where they can work the projects through the city and then be in position so when the funding starts ramping up again, the projects can go forward. Now, I'm going to have Bob speak about the Hillside Ordinance. How many of you live in the Hillside south of Ventura Boulevard? And how many of you live in the Flats area? Okay, we'll speak to both issues.
Thanks, Ellen. My name is Bob Anderson. That was a great introduction. LA is working on mansionization ordinances. One of them for the flatlands has passed. It was enacted last June, which limits and reduces the size of a house that somebody can build on a small lot, any lot. But you can't have these gargantuan things anymore. They're still pretty big, but not as big. Some of you who think you may live in the hillside, I attended the town hall meeting that the city held on February 23rd. They are redefining what hillside is. Before it was south of Ventura all the way to Sunset. Now they've gotten topographical maps and they are saying, well, if it's sort of flat, we're going to call it flat. So the first step is probably if you live between Ventura and Valley Vista, you are now flat. But that's not always the case. They had a map with different colors on it. You had to look at it and that was tentative. But that's going to happen in the next few months. So if you were hillside and become flat, you're covered by the existing ordinance. If you're not, the new ordinance is being drafted by city planning. They're going to try to finish it by the end of the summer in draft form. I provided comments, and I'm setting up a committee for anyone who would like to help for the hillside portion of it. I've got one volunteer already, and I hope for some more. And you can contact Joan. I'm going to set up a special email for myself so people can reach me easy. But if you have any questions about this, let me know and I'll be glad to answer them.
The problem with those properties that were included or being recharacterized south of the boulevard to Valley Vista is that none of those homeowners had an opportunity to participate. So that then raises the same old question, why? Why is south of the boulevard always being shortchanged on certain things? The other issue, but north of the boulevard never had it. Okay, Nancy Cleel's going to speak about Library Square north of the boulevard, and Ken Gerson's going to speak about Fashion Square north of the boulevard.
Hi, thank you. A lot of you have heard me speaking about Library Square and Best Buy since September 2003. And when Ellen starts talking about development in the area, it's not only that it impacts us for a very long time during the process, but obviously it impacts us forever. But I do want to point out that we are very excited that construction on our bump outs has finally begun. In September 2006, the neighborhood voted for this traffic mitigation. So it's wonderful that it's getting going. The next part of it, though, that we're going to continue working with Lexi on a preferential parking district for the area, because, again, this neighborhood is highly impacted by Best Buy, potentially by the Baroni site, by the Westfield Shopping Center, and this neighborhood is highly impacted by all of this development. So thank you.
Hi, good evening. I'm Ken Gerston. You might remember back in November, December, we filed our response to the EIR, the Environmental Impact Report for the expansion of Westfields. Well, it's March now. We still haven't heard from the city answering any of our questions. When Westfield first proposed their expansion, it was 280,000, 275,000 square feet, and they called that Plan A. But in the plan, there was also a Plan B. In the last 3 or 4 weeks, they are thinking about now building Plan B, which is better for us. It's 50,000 square feet less. So we'll total 235 instead of 280,000 square feet, which is real close to their, by right, 180,000 square feet. And in that is a fairly extensive outdoor walking area, sort of Grovenesque, I guess they call it now. without cars that run through it, and it's looking better now. We're still working very diligently and hard on mitigating the traffic and trying to negotiate as many dollars and securing the funding that we need to mitigate or do the types of mitigation that we feel that will improve the traffic around the area. And that's really bringing you up to date to now. Thank you.
Okay, you missed the opportunity earlier.
Nature call.
Nature call, okay. The missing potential candidate for city council for Wendy Brule's seat is Kenny Gersten.
Potential.
All right. I don't know if you guys are aware that the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power has approved what they're going to do with the water rationing. It's official today. It has to be approved by the city council. Basically, what is going to happen is the following. We will be required to cut back our water usage 15%. We will only be allowed to turn on our outside irrigation 2 times a week. And if you will be given an established base rate for the amount of water you're allowed to use based on square footage and lot size, square footage of your home. And here's the kicker. If you exceed the base amount, then you go into the second tier. Now, I don't know about you, but come to summertime, and I do not have a large parcel, but we're in the second tier. So that means we would continue to pay at an accelerated rate of 44% more. And interestingly enough, I don't know how they're going to be compounding this because we get also separate water raises now every quarter. So beginning April 1st, followed by the next 3 months later and the next thereafter, water rate increases. And I think power is going up too. And as I speak, I believe DWP is back at the table again asking for more raises. Gee, could that be a coincidence? Yeah, I never know. But more to the point, we can also, with the increase of the 44%, you know the money, the higher rates that you pay during the summertime for water, those will now also remain in effect year-round. So clearly it's up to us homeowners to conserve water. And I think the real question is, all of us need to start asking everybody is, when are they going to allow people to use gray water? Do you all know what gray water is? Then I don't need to say anything more. Affordable housing law, you should know that there's yet another plan on the books making all the rounds downtown that will probably finish off the specific plan. So if you want to see me about that, come see me, and it's my understanding this is going to be one of the key questions to ask of our council candidates next month about the further vetting of the specific plan, especially since both of them have advocated slow or limited development, and especially they're aware about the nature or the threat that this poses to Ventura Boulevard. Billboards, I don't know if you guys are following it. You know, I'm pretty conversant on this issue, and they've really thrown a ringer. Right now, the City Planning Commission is contemplating passing a much stronger ordinance, but the problem is there's so many pending lawsuits that the information you're receiving in the papers is not thorough. Mostly not for a lack of desire, just for a lack of space. So the bottom line is, when you read one thing, you really have to hit the internet and start going to the local blogs to get the full picture. Go to Mayor Sam, go to Ron Kay. Just really invest the time and the energy if you want to stay informed. You cannot rely solely on the Daily News and the LA Times to get your local information any longer. And of course, there's SOHA Forever. That's our website online on YouTube that plays all of the videos or tapes or films. So I guess we have about, what, 400 of them? More. Online, so at any time you can go back and listen to what other people have said about issues, to tell your friends. This is very important because the internet is our way of spreading information. So past meetings, search SOHA #4 EVER, EVER. And thank you very much, and we'll see you next month.